What is up, guys? Greg here from Spartan's Legacy with another war recap. I brought a couple guys on this time. We are missing somebody who might join in later, but I did bring back, or I brought on ACN. Have you been on one of these before, ACN?
Nope, first time.
Oh my
Thanks for having me.
Wow. So say what's up, ACN. Tell me something about yourself that no one knows.
Oh, that's a good question. No one knows that my parents are fresh off the boat.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, that's new. I brought back Griz. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We all know about you. You talk enough for everybody. LDP, say what's going on, buddy.
What's up, what's up?
And then we brought back the myth, Sin, who did the best challenge accepted video I've done in a while. Say what's going on, man.
What's up, everyone?
So, real fast, I'm just going to go through a couple of you guys. General thoughts of the war, not any kind of stats, anything like that. So, let's start out with Griz, because you always want to start with the leader. What are some general thoughts from this?
Man, this war was a headache. We weren't really sure what to expect about the Swarm because they've been running a different breakdown than us most of the season. And they fucking brought it, man. I mean, I'm not allowed to say stats, so I can't tell you how close it is. But they really earned a lot of respect from us and made us, took it right down to the wire. We didn't know who was going to win till the very last 60 seconds of the war, right?
Yeah.
So lots of respect to the Swarm for a great war.
Okay. ACN, your first recap. General thoughts of the war. Did you enjoy it? Stressful? What did you think?
I live for high stress wars like this. It brings a team together. It was a team effort. It was an awesome finish. One of the best wars I've ever been involved in the last 2 years, hands down.
All right, and LDP, you came close to a six-pack again, and I know you're probably sitting there like, this motherfucker's rubbing it in right now. I'm not. So what are your thoughts on this war, man?
Man, it was really intense. For probably the past 8 weeks or so, we've been in wars where a couple have been close, but from kind of the very beginning, we've been in the driver's seat where we got the first couple 10v10s, and we had a big lead 10v10 wise, and tons of scouts. And this war, it was kind of flipped, so they really put us to the grinder, and to be able to come out of that it was pretty awesome. And I mean, we were all definitely pretty stressed, and chats were high tension, kind of adding to our own pressure, and somehow we pulled it out.
And Sin, you made this awesome challenge accepted video. Are you glad we produced for it? Are you happy?
Well, I was actually nervous as fuck because if we lost, I would look like an idiot. But
well, you kind of did anyway, so I mean, that's just kind of on a side note, though. I'm just kidding with you.
Boys, I know, I probably did, but the boys came through, of course, like always. It was a team effort, like everybody said. They gave us a great war. I mean, a lot of people didn't know what they're all about, but now we know. And I would love to war them in Season 2 again.
All right, so the first raid we want to cover is Town Hall 9 raid by Bruno, and I'm actually going to call on ACN to comment on this. So whenever you're ready, man, I am waiting and awaiting your response.
Let's do it. So Bruno has a very unique talent in visualizing different and creative tasks when planning his raids week in and week out. So in this raid, Bruno's going to do a quad zap with a quake for the double 12 o'clock ADs. Then he's going to drop his AQ at the 9 o'clock position. Solo AQ, going to take out that third AD. As soon as that AD goes on, in a few seconds here, he's going to start his dragon funnel, kind of around 10 all the way to 2 o'clock. So here come the dragons, getting a nice funnel going. AQ is going to finish up that 9 o'clock position. Once all the dragons are in, he's going to start a little mini Laloon from about 3 o'clock to take out that final AD. Here comes a Laloon, few balloons to back him up. Final AD is going to go down in a few seconds here. At this point in the raid, once that final AD is taken out, the base is pretty much toast. All that remains is the AQ, some Teslas, and the Wiz Towers, which obviously don't do very much damage to dragons. As the dragon's kind of near towards the 6 o'clock position where that final AQ is, the dragon's going to swarm her and take her out. So as we kind of finish the rest of the raid here, 40 seconds remaining, I want to give a good shout out to the Swarm. Mad respect for their classiness and being good sports throughout this matchup. We look forward to playing against them again next year in the Invite League. And finally, the biggest shout out for this war is to our base builders. These guys every week build 40 outstanding bases for us, tweaking each and every one of them throughout the week, doing friendly challenges. They are the unsung heroes of every war, and mad props to them. So as we finish it up here, this is a 3-star, tons of dragons left. Solid hit by Bruno again in every war. Always creative.
And also one of the fastest dragon raids at Town Hall 9s I've seen. I've never seen like a sub 2-minute dragon raid. I don't know if you guys have. I probably am missing something somewhere, but it was super fast.
Yeah, once all those ADs are taken out, those dragons just kind of rip through that base. There's no more point defenses. I mean, it was toast right from the beginning.
Yeah, and the another really good thing is Bruno does a really good job of supplementing dragons with loons, which that can be one of the things. If you just go mash dragons, they do go pretty slow, but if you put loons in the right spot, it can really push them along pretty quick.
All right, and like I said, we have somebody who just joined in a little later. Dylan just decided to join back in with us. Say what's going on, Dylan.
Hey, it's Dylan here. My base got wrecked this war. And I guess we'll show you that now. So, Greg, I'm hitting play.
Okay, well, hold on one sec. So, with the 10v10 portion starting for our war, we wanted to give a shout out to the Swarm. They started out like 3 for 3 10v10 triples, like 4 hours into war. Is that correct, Griz? You said something like that.
Yeah, scared the shit out of us.
So we wanted to highlight one of their raids, and Dylan's going to go over this raid. Whenever you're ready, Dylan, just let me know.
All right, I'm hitting play now.
Okay.
So I would they did some demos, and then after 3 demos, they dropped 3 triples, and this was the third, and I was stunned. It was a really remarkably good performance. Definitely had us on our heels, and this was a really super nice raid. Exploited the weakness that I didn't think this base had when I built it. He's gonna do a really just legendary queen walk right here. He's gonna get both heroes, the CC, just with using 1 rage on the queen. Well, maybe he uses the second one here in a second. And you see he has the king and the wizards doing work, clearing out a bunch of, defensive buildings. Also, wizards coming over helping with the pups. And he's actually going to walk in and get this Inferno, which I didn't think anyone would be bold enough to try, but I guess it paid off. Queen sort of doing her thing, walking around and around, but she's going to go in and grab that Inferno. Simultaneously, the Lalo portion is coming in, uses the ability, takes out the Inferno, and the Queen is actually going to live through the rest of this raid. And he's coming in, he's taking on this really heavy Wizard Tower and Tesla area, pre-rages and heals into there with a lot of loons. Still just barely makes it through, but then he gets to that Inferno, perfectly timed freeze, back-end loons, wrap it up for him, just gets this Inferno down with his loons like dying breaths, and then his queen is able to clean it up. So really nice raid. Didn't think it would happen, but very well done. So yeah, it's just clean up.
All right,
Clean
Dylan.
live the entire raid.
So
Very
before
nice.
you joined in, we had a couple minutes where we were just talking about the war and what we thought about it. So what did you think about this war?
It was just epic on so many levels. It was back and forth. You know, luck was with the Swarm for some time, and luck with us for some time, and you know they did well on defense at Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10, and then we did well on defense at Town Hall 11. Just it was really sort of back and forth, really on the edge of your seat, just super, super exciting. Definitely came down to just maybe like the luck of the draw or slightly better bases or, you know, no major, like they played so well. It was just, I mean, it was dead even. I think yeah, I definitely thought we're screwed for a decent chunk of the war. It was really
For real.
stressful.
All right, so now we're into our side of the 10v10s, and I want LDP to kind of go over this next raid by Vengeful Zack. Whenever you're ready, LDP, let me know.
All right, so with this raid, we got a Gobo Baby Dragon attack with a handful of wizards on base 14. And so I originally hit this with a very similar plan. Actually, I think it might be the exact same plan. And got like a
plan with some minor tweaks. Sorry.
Yeah, and this is when we were down. This is very early in the war, probably 8 hours into the war or so, and we were down 3-0 in triples, 10v10 triples. So we really needed to get one in. Dylan saw that this was pretty close, and he saw a few tweaks he could make. So we hopped on voice, and he just smashed it. So go ahead and hit play.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing, we start off with a little golem AQ walk. With some of those exterior defenses, it makes it pretty predictable to figure out where your golems are going to go. And so a huge wide funnel all the way from 7:30-ish, all the way up to 3 o'clock, where he drops that second golem. And one of the things he changed is I went pretty heavy on wizards at 3 o'clock, the funnel, where he switches it up and he goes heavy with bowlers at 3 o'clock and heavier with wizards down at 6, just so some of his wizards survive and can take care of the hound CC. And if you look, he times it perfectly. Almost nothing dies to those bomb towers, whereas with my raid, all of my wizards died and most of my bowlers got hurt, so I kind of had to heal early. But he times that much better. And he also fixes the jump. I just straight up messed up my second jump, whereas he gets it. And once his bowlers are in the core, you can already see that the base is pretty much wrecked. He even forgets he has a second rage and still get.
Forgot I had a heal for a second also.
Yeah, we were already celebrating that this was a triple because of how well his kill squad went, and then forgot he had another rage.
Entirely intentional.
But, I mean, this is awesome. You kind of see that the backside of this base, you know, from 9 o'clock to, say, 2 o'clock, it's mostly cannons, which makes it look, you know, pretty good for this type of attack. You got all the air defenses, all the expos reachable, and most of the archer towers. So it's set up pretty well for the attack, and Dylan just executed it well. And, you know, getting this 10v10, we went from, you know, kind of freaking out while we're down 3 Town Hall 10 trips. Then everyone was, all right, we can still put this together and really kind of put us back on track. And eventually we, you know, grabbed a second and a third and helped out. because I know the tension in the clan was pretty high, and then Dylan hit that, and everyone took a big breath of fresh air.
All right, and for our second triple we had is by Valley, and I'm gonna have Griz go over this attack. It's a really special attack, so whenever you're ready, man, just let me know.
Well, yeah, this attack came a lot later in the war than our first triple. We got the first triple in the morning, right after we woke up, and then this didn't happen till I think our last 3 or 4 attacks at 10v10 in the whole war. There was probably like 2 hours left, and it was just a really nice raid. So Valley's the one that did it. Valley had a very badass raid before this. He got a 99%, I think, and it was really heartbreaking for the clan. But him coming back like an hour later with this, just really set the pace for us. And before I commentate on this raid, I just want to point out that Valley's brother plays for the Dark Looters, so next week is going to be a badass head-to-head war. So you can hit play whenever you're ready, Greg.
I'm hitting it now.
All right. So I saw the first couple of attempts on this base, and it started off pretty similar. He drops the queen, and the first couple of times we did it, there were no healers involved. It was a suicide heroes, and the queen actually worked out really well. The first time we did it, she went right in and took out the Inferno, but the second time, the Tesla lured her away. Now, Valley's goal was to walk in and clear the Inferno without using a freeze. The freeze was actually for the back portion of the base, and he aggroes the Inferno tower, right there, and then has to burn his ability by accident. So at that point, I think everybody was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna panic," but then he drops that freeze and takes it out. The rest is pretty much history. It turns into a Valley raid, as we like to call them. The CC lures, he just plays it cool, takes out the CC, drops a rage. He used, I think, all of his rages on his queen charge really early, and only had 3 haste for the whole rest of the base. So, but I mean, it was really good thinking on his feet with the freezing of the Inferno and everything, because the wall breakers busted farther away than I think he was intending. So let's see. There goes his next rage, and the queen right there. So you see the queen going down, and this is where the beautiful part of the raid happens, because I was screaming his queen's about to die, and Max Millsy was right there too, saying, those balloons are going to make it, man. They're just going to keep making it. And if you watch this, they just keep making it to each of the Infernos, and the queen lives, and the queen just... this is just a sick raid. Valley's one of our sickest Town Hall 10s. He's one of our sickest base builders, so we can give him a shout-out for that. Him and LDP build a lot of our Town Hall 11 bases, and I know those have been getting a lot of props lately, so we can point that out to everybody, that we have some really strong base builders, and LDP and Valley are 2 of them. So this really put us back on track and let us know that we had a chance, even though we were down a few triples.
But we were losing it because we thought he was going to run out of time. He got it in the last second. We thought he was a 98 and a 99, and it was going to be but he wow, it was so close.
Yeah, that would have been the 4th or 5th.
You're right.
7.
12. Yeah, if you look at the time, the countdown, this is the actual countdown. It ends at 0, and that was 1 second left on the actual countdown clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're less.
So, excellent. Props to you, Valley. Another great raid.
So for this next portion, we're going to take a break from the 10v10 action, and we're going to go into our 10v11. Real quick, I just want to go over Oreo and Leroy both went 2 for 2 against 11s, which really helps out with the 10v10s. So just wanted to give a shout out to those 2 guys. They really stepped up this war. made life a lot easier. So I'm pulling up the raid now, guys. This base I did hit first, and I came up with this plan. I totally did it a different way, though. I quaked instead of using a jump, and I literally lost like 16 bowlers to one loon drop, which was very depressing. So I'm hitting play here. Oreo finds a couple archer spots to drop down. He loses one to the Expo, just in range. He's going to be dropping his queen up at about 1 o'clock. Kind of a good spot. I didn't use the queen this way, and he found a good spot that there were actually no point defenses beside one cannon that was going to lock onto her. Starts down at about 4 o'clock with some bowlers and a golem for one side of the funnel. And he's just basically setting up his funnel at this point. Second golem is down. And his funnel's complete at this point. Dropping his wall breakers in. Oh my gosh, Leroy just joined in and he's messing me up, but I don't care. I could just have him comment on this raid because he probably knows it from heart. Drops a jump down. Quakes the core. Yeah, Mad Dog himself is here. He'll talk in a couple minutes and it'll be a bunch of curse words. But Rage and Heal for the bowlers. Poison on the CC. And he's pretty much going into this point 2-star. He didn't even need the baby dragons he brought or anything like that for the percentage. So really well done on the execution of this raid, Oreo. Was an awesome attack. I watched it when I woke up in the morning. I actually didn't see it live. And it was nice to see a plan actually work when you make it. So now I know how like Dylan feels with Griz all the time. So I'm just kidding.
Hey, Dylan was on the other side of that this time.
Yeah, he was.
Dylan's on the other side of that a lot.
Leroy.
4 times.
Can you hear me? Oh my gosh. Say hello, you're on the recap.
Hello, I'm on the recap.
Oh my gosh.
Did you mention about your first hit on that Greg?
Yeah, where I lost 16 bowlers to one loon drop. Yep, I mentioned that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there, make sure that, everyone knew that.
Yeah, just dig that knife in even deeper, right?
Yeah, I want to take it out the other side. How you going, guys? All right? What's going on?
I can't even take you seriously right now, man. So Leroy, real fast, what are your thoughts on the war?
I was shitting myself from the start to the finish. There was moments where I thought, oh my God, like, who are we playing here? I mean, they just played unbelievable. My thoughts on the war was it was one of the most epic wars I've fucking been involved in ever. There.
Wow. Sounded like you were nailing something. Were you using a nail gun right there?
I was just punching my fist.
Oh, okay.
With my car. Yeah, but honestly, man, what a fucking war. I mean, it could have gone any way. It went our way, and that's all. Sparta!
Oh my God.
All right, carry on.
On a warning right there.
All right, and before this last raid, I get to actually announce this week, and this is the Spartan of the Week portion. And we actually are splitting it up this week. There's an offensive and a defensive Spartan of the Week. First, for the offensive, is Griz, who's the only leader in the entire CWL, I think, who's triples like every war. Anyone else be able to comment on that one? I'm not sure if that's even true. And the defensive is actually the Town Hall 11 base builders, LDP, Valley, Luke. Am I missing anybody else, LDP?
Oh, and the testers like Leroy, Greg, Oreo, Doom. Those guys all deserve some credit too.
So it's kind of a group Spartan of the Week this week. Kind of weird, kind of different. But the reason I brought up the offensive one is Griz tripled with what 20 minutes left in the war, and I'm gonna actually have
yeah.
I'm gonna have Sin take us through this one. I am on the raid, and it's paused whenever you're ready, Sin.
All right. I think Griz wanted to say something about this raid. He was telling me earlier. What did you want to say,
Yeah.
Griz?
What did I want to say? Oh, right before this raid, everybody was saying in the chat, you know, we need to fail. Let's all pray for a fail. And I was like, well, I could just get a triple. So, and then a few minutes later, I went in and knocked it out. But what I really wanted to say was that I knew that this raid needed to be a triple because of some of the things that had happened. So I went through and I did the same raid that Suramis did right before me and just tweaked one or two things. But I went through and studied the raid until I could do it with my eyes closed. So I did it with my eyes closed 3 times and then went in and did the raid. So pretty intense, man.
Now, real fast before Sin starts, I want to comment. You missed one minor detail before you went in, because Griz all of a sudden appeared in chat and was like, "Start pre-tapping 8 motherfuckers," and then tripled. So he kind of like, kind of Babe Ruthed it. So whenever you're ready, Sin, take us through it.
Yeah, and also what I want to mention about this raid is we had 2 hits on it before. It was Dylan and Suaramis that hit it before. And I think Dylan did it first, and it kind of showed the blueprint for the attack, and that's why, you know, the second hit was 94%, and then after that, Griz came in and corrected the hit. That's basically where the success was. Go ahead and play it.
All right.
All right, so basically the whole plan was to get the air defense at 5 and get the Inferno at 6, and it's going to be a suicide heroes. So what he does first, he drops the giant to tank. Now in the first raid, the giants actually took the whole hit, so the queen wasn't getting hit. But Griz got unlucky there, and then his giant walked, so the queen got a little bit of damage. Then he pops the king ability, so this way he can funnel the queen in. Now the good thing about this raid also that didn't happen to Griz is the CC didn't get triggered, so the queen avoided that. She goes down, takes the storage out, and then she dies right there. Now at that point it doesn't matter because it's the loons. That was the whole plan. So his drops were perfect. Haste on the loons, takes out the 2 ADs on top. Then I think he switched rage instead of heal last time, right? That was the decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that helped a lot for the core. And then after that, nice freeze goes down. I mean, after that, it's wrecked from there. Now, the only thing that we were scared is because the queen was up at that time. So let's take care of that. And he had 1 hound left anyway, so the pups would have killed her. And boom, unwrecked. I swear I was screaming so hard after this hit.
We all were. It was insane.
My hands are shaking.
Yeah, I mean, let me give some background on how clutch this hit was. So this was the 3rd to last hit that we did, and at this time, the swarm had 4 hits left. If we went 3 for 3, which means Griz got a triple, and then our 2 11s got a triple, the swarm only had to go 3 for 3, or 3 out of 4. But if Griz didn't triple, they would have only had to triple 2 of their final 3 dips, and then they also had a 10v11 attempt. So essentially by him tripling this base, it ensured that they had to go perfect themselves, which put a ton of pressure on them. I mean, this attack essentially, told them that we're not going to lose on our own. We're going to force you to beat us. And it was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they had to hit a Town Hall 11 for that. So it changed the whole game plan for them.
Griz, how did you feel after that raid? What was going through your head after that raid, man?
Dude, man, I was flipping out. I actually was in voice chat with just when I came back on. I wanted a spotter, and there was 10 people in voice chat. So I got Max Millsy to go with me, and I mean, first off, we're just sitting there, and I was exactly like you guys. I thought the raid had failed, and then Max was like, "Nah, dude, you have a hound left, bro." And I was like, "Oh shit, I do." And then we figured out that that raid was wrecked, and I screamed loud as fuck. And I walked out of the room, and I was flipping out. And my girlfriend was sitting on the couch, and she just looks at me, and she was like, "Beast mode," and I was like, "Yeah." So it was intense, man.
Yeah, the one interesting thing that I found in the raid that we tweaked and we all talked about was changing that heal to the rage and then dropping the Skelly troop and a poison on the queen. And even though we tweaked all that, the queen still survived, which was mind-boggling in my opinion.
Well, I caught a lot of shit for that because I don't have skeleton spells.
That's right.
So, like, everybody gave me shit that I couldn't take 2 or 3 skeleton spells.
I don't need no skeleton spell. God damn it, shit.
You should upgrade that. Seriously.
I know. It's on the list.
Nah. Don't bother, mate.
Leroy is level 39 king.
That's right.
Oh, I owe you a level on your king, don't I, Leroy?
No. I owe you too, so don't worry. We'll call it an even day.
Right.
He's like, don't log into my shit and upgrade my account when I'm not.
All right, guys. So, real quick, I'm just going to go down the list, and it's just going to be general comments about this war, maybe a little preview for next war. So, starting out with ACN, finishing comments, man.
Again, mad props to our 11 testers and builders. The swarm went, our 4 bases took up, I think, 15 or 16 hits. It defended at 11 v 11. I mean, that kind of helped propel the momentum back to our game. Looking forward to next week against Dark Looters. It was one of our closest matches in the regular season. Looking forward to, playing them again, and we're going to bring in our A game.
All right, Dylan, finishing comments, man. What do you got about this week, next week, whatever you want?
Well, first off, I'd like to give mad props to the Swarm. Definitely in my top 3 favorite wars now of all time. And then looking forward to next week. I'm already building bases, so got my eye on you, Dark Looters.
LDP, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, man, I had a blast during this war. It was a complete range of emotions from, frustration with some early struggles at 99 and 10v10 and then, some really clutch raids to finally, waiting all the way till the last 15 seconds of the war to, finally get that celebration. It was an awesome war, and I would have to say it's my favorite war I've ever been a part of.
Leroy, I know you joined in late. What do you got, man?
Look, I just want to say something really quick. I just want to give props to a few people. So I'd like to just say, well done, Mr. Boom Boom, Luke, Wyro, Peaky, Soramus, Greg, Millsy, Dylan, that was fantastic. Oreo, good job. LDP, fantastic. Griz, myself, good on you, myself. Valley, Hex, STR, Jonas, Simbad, Nick, RM, F, which is Real Football Club. Table setter, CH, Jason the Great, Leon, Good Night, ZZZ, ACN, Juggernaut, Destiny, Mudkey, Yaji, Lord Combo, Mad Dog, Dad Mad Dog, Havoc Mad Dog, Paulie D, Izzy, Goodcus Combo, Doom Kitten, Arbor, Bat, Sam, Dirty G, Bruno. Fuck, you are all mad. Good on yous. Love yous. Great effort.
Classic.
All right. Sin, what do you got, man?
Well, let's say definitely was one of the best wars I've ever been in. They kept us on our toes. They were ready, man. But sometimes when you haven't played somebody before and you play them for the first time, it's kind of different. And that's what happened with us. They met SL for the first time, and they tasted SL's blood, and they found out that SL nothing to be fucked with. So
SL
Matt,
Bud, ass bitches.
hell yeah. But mad props to the Swarm, and good luck to Dark Lures next week. You guys are gonna need it. Be ready for us.
All right, and finally, Griz, why don't you finish up with your comments and then just wrap us up?
All right, yeah, like everybody, I want to give props to the Swarm. They really brought it this week. They weren't the clan that I was expecting to push us that far, I expected a really good war, but they had just tied Red at Omega, so I was expecting it to be about as close as that. And they just, the way they came out with, they started off at every town hall level on fire. I don't know if it was part of their plan to use their best hitters first. They went 7 for 7 at Town Hall 9. Then they went, 3 for 3 at Town Hall 10. It was started off 5 for 5 on nukes, man. It was just a really good game, and props to the fucking Spartans for getting through it. I know everybody was stressed out a little bit. We really worked well as a team and fucked shit up. So, Dark Looters, like they said, be ready for us, guys. And as always, bitches, this is Sparta. So fuck off.